This it?
This is it. It's on. And my glasses are.
Just wear them and don't worry about it. Don't leave them, let them sit here and tell everybody what the problem is with your glasses.
They're steaming up.
They're steaming up.
All right, so are we ready?
We're ready.
All right, so.
On three, ready?
1,
2,
3.
Drop, stitch, magic glue, slip, slip, purl, slip, slip, knit, twisted cord, wrap and turn, pick up and knit.
Hi everybody. Welcome to another episode of Joey's Scarf. This is episode 24. And today is May 4th, 2018. You know what that means, don't you?
the day after May 5th.
The day before May 5th.
The day before May 5th.
Today's May 4th.
May 4th. After May 4th is May 5th.
Yeah, you said May 4th was whatever.
What is it?
What is it?
Cinco de Mayo?
Tomorrow's Cinco de Mayo.
Today's
May the
4th be with you.
Right. Now, I'm not a Star Wars fan, but you're not a crazy Star Wars
I'm not
fan.
a crazy one, no.
No, but you've seen every year.
I remember the name of it.
That's a good thing.
You know.
All right. So, these glasses are going to drive me crazy.
Take them off and let them, and you'll put them on later on when.
Because I can't see anything now.
So you can't see that huge bumblebee making
We're in Barnegat, New Jersey, which is along the Jersey Shore.
About 25 miles north of Atlantic City.
Right.
And we're actually in the Barnegat Inlet area.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if that means anything to anybody.
Today it's very warm. We've been having a very cool spring. Yesterday it was 90 degrees here, which was like the day before it was 70, and then yesterday was 90. Today is probably going to be about the same.
It's going to hit 90 today.
And then tomorrow it's going to be 60. And the rest of the week, which is going to be 60, which after yesterday and today, I kind of don't mind it.
Maybe it's 90 degrees because Krakatoa, no, not Krakatoa, Mount Kilauea,
right,
or whatever
Hawaii
it is.
Volcano has erupted.
Right, the largest volcano in the world.
Is it?
Yeah, that's why everybody's running for the water.
Oh, yeah.
Get away from it.
So, since we recorded last, we have some sad news. Our little Rico passed away. It's been 3 weeks.
Is it that long already?
Actually,
2.5.
No, it's going to be 3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are it was very, very, as you can imagine, a very, very difficult time.
Well, what's really tough is we had him since he was, what?
4 months old.
4 months old, 5 months old. And he was only a month and a half shy of 17 years old.
Mm-hmm. So
we had him for quite some time. We neglected him and fed him and gave him, no, we didn't neglect him.
Don't say that.
The ASPCA come here. No, we loved the poor little guy. And we tried to include him in anything sane that he could do with us.
We spoiled him. We did not neglect him.
Well, we were kind of loose on his grooming.
Oh my God, that is not true.
Well, you brushed him and combed him and
everything. You mean we didn't?
I don't know.
Talk about something else.
You want to start over?
Oh, I don't want to start.
Okay.
No, Rico. Well, Rico was he was a Maltese, and his hair grew a lot. I mean, fast. So he wasn't too fond of the bath, and he wasn't too fond of getting groomed. He was
a rebel.
Yeah.
Nobody would groom him because he
was feisty.
He didn't like their touch.
Yeah.
That's essentially what it was.
I don't know how we got off on this tangent.
That's okay. He was one of those things that endeared him to us. He was the scourge of the neighborhood. He had a big gold earring and a patch over his eye. He would meet you at the front door and stare right into your face. As a matter of fact, I could probably get a picture up. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure we'll have pictures of Rico. Yeah. Anyway, we are very, very sad. It doesn't appear that way. We're giggling and laughing, but we had to make a decision. He was in a lot of pain, and it was a difficult decision to make, but after it was over and looking back on the way he was suffering, we made the right choice.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure that we'll replace Rico. Rico can't be replaced, but I don't know that we'll get another pet.
We had people in our community. They would jam on their brakes driving past the house if they saw Rico, get out of the car and start talking to him. Now, he had this little thing from the time he was real little. He had this way of talking to people. It was in gurgles, and everybody screamed and howled. He was so funny. He'd tilt his head. He could have been very unique. I don't know. But people stopped for him. We're
okay. We had to take a little break because we had to adjust the microphone, which was sitting there, but now it's not. And so you see sheep.
I see sheep. I think we're pretending to be at the Marion Sheep and Wool Festival.
Oh my goodness! All right. I don't know if I said this before in the beginning, but this is a knitting and crocheting podcast.
Oh, then what am I doing?
I don't know what you're doing here.
Well, you invited me down.
Oh, I did invite you.
You invited me over here.
And one of the main reasons that you're here is because you're my yarn companion.
Oh, okay.
So this weekend is the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival,
which we're pretending to be at.
No, we're not pretending to be at.
I thought we were going to pretend to be at the Marion.
No. Okay, we had discussed whether we were going or not.
Right.
So we were going to kind of hash that out.
Well,
it's about a 4-hour drive for us. We'd have to stay over.
Yeah.
And,
well, we did that the last time.
Yeah. Last year it was horrible. It was rainy and cold.
And we got there late in the afternoon.
We did. We were exhausted, and it was just ridiculous. I'm leaning towards not going.
Today?
Tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow.
It's Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, right.
I think it's supposed to rain Sunday.
We may have, they may have rain before we do. I don't know.
Oh, true. They may rain outside.
They're up right at the edge of the mountains.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to play it by ear and see. If Rico were here, we could say we can't go because Rico's here.
We went last year, like I said, and it was a last-minute decision. Every Sheep and Wool Festival we've been to, I say we're not going, and then at the last minute, I decide we're going to go. I have a feeling that we're not going to this one.
Well, what we should do is probably figure out some kind of wool sheep shearing, knitting activity and do that tomorrow locally.
Or not.
Or not. Okay, I think you're on your own now, right?
You want to get out of here now?
Well, you told me that this is a sheep and wool, a knitting
This
podcast.
is true. I think a lot of people tune in for the knitting, but I think they'd miss you if you didn't do your little segment here.
They did miss me, but I don't know if they were happy or not.
Most of them.
Missing me.
Yeah, I think most people are.
Okay. They recognize me when we go shopping.
They do.
In the real world.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, so
Okay.
you're going to say goodbye. What are you going to do now while I'm finishing up here?
I have a book that I started reading, and I haven't.
I bet you don't know the name of it.
Of course not. The Rules of Prey or something
The Rules
like that.
of Prey. Yeah, what's it about?
It's really strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about a cop who's
Are you going to give anything away?
They tell you right in the first paragraph in the book. He's the guy.
He's the serial killer?
He's the serial killer. And life is seen through his eyes.
So as with everything we talk about, if it's a reference to something, you'll find it in the show notes below, and I'll put the name of the book because you seem to like it, and maybe somebody else would like to read it.
Okay, well, it's kind of he's kind of a popular author.
Oh, yeah. You don't know what his name, though, do you? I'll put it in the show notes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so you're going to take off? Okay, say bye.
Bye.
See you later.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, on to some knitting. I have a couple of finished objects. I have a couple of works in progress. And I have some acquisitions. Now, normally I don't show acquisitions until I am using the yarn for a project. But 2 weeks ago, I think it was the New Jersey Wool Walk. And this was a group of 15 vendors, local yarn stores, who got together and sponsored a celebration, 4 days, for a 4-day event. There's no way you could walk to these stores because they went from one end of the state down to the other. And I managed to get to, I think, 4 of the stores, which was, it was enough because I did wind up with some beautiful yarn. And I'll show you that later. So my first finished object is what I'm wearing, and this is the Reyna shawl, and this is by Noora, Laivola, and I believe, yeah, this is a free pattern, free Ravelry download, so you can find this on Ravelry. And flashing this. Okay, the yarn that I used was from Yarn Cafe Creations, and this is Christy, and this is her shop, and you can find her on Etsy. And this is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. And it's fingering weight, and it's her fluffy sock base, and the color is Toadstool. And it really came out nice. So I'm going to stand up and show you. It's a little shawl. It's just kind of nice for the spring. And I used up everything but this much, which is what I wanted to do. I wanted to make sure that I used every bit of the yarn so I wouldn't have any leftovers. And it really came out nice. And I'll probably pop some pictures in too so you can see it, the whole thing, because it's kind of hard to show. But I really like the way it came out. Yeah, so that's my first finished object. My next finished object is this, another shawl. And this is called the Cozy Colourblock shawl. And I think this is this is a free pattern also, and I've made this before. I use the pattern for the shape of the shawl. I didn't really follow the color sequence that the designer used. I just kind of did my own thing. I'm going to put some pictures in here of me wearing it so you can get a better idea of what it looks like on. But I just love the way this came out. I love the pops of color that I put in here, the highlighter yellow and the highlighter pink. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful shawl. It drapes so nice. It's a pretty good size too. I'm very pleased with the way it came out. It's a little bigger than the Reyna shawl. But I had a lot of fun doing it because I just liked changing colors when I thought I wanted to, and I put a little stripe along the bottom there, and that's what I liked about it. I used a small needle. I used a size 3, and I like the way the fabric came out. It's just so squishy and drapey. Let me show you the yarn that I used. Get it out here. And I had quite a bit left over because I didn't use all. I used 4 colors. And, okay. So the main one I used was this one. This is Color Craze Fiber by Color Craze Fiber. And the colorway, that is this one. She was showing her yarn at Chelsea Yarns in Red Bank. And Chelsea had her 5-year anniversary. I think I picked this up there. But she's an indie dyer. I don't know. I don't know if she's local to New Jersey or not, but I'll put her information down below. Yeah, so this was the main color, which is this here. And that's what it looks like knitted up. I put that at the beginning and then at the end. Yeah, those are cool colors. And then the second color I used, which is this one, beautiful, beautiful. I love it. This is by Hue Loco. And this is on her Phyllis sock base, which is 75/25. And it's fingering weight 4 ply, 463 yards. I don't know if that's focusing or not, but that's this. So pretty. And this is what it looks like on the shawl knitted up. It just had some lavender and yellows and grays. Just beautiful. Really nice. And then the pops, this highlighter yellow, is really bright. This is from Wonderland Yarns, and this is Dinah, or Dinah, and well, you can see what color it is. It's called Pigments of Imagination. It is really bright. So that's this, obviously. And then I just had some bright pink. I'm not sure what this was, but that's what I had left. I had, you know, some skeins left, some yarn left from whatever. I don't know what I made with this, but this is what's left over. So the way I feel like I kind of blended in or faded in the yellow and then the pink, so it looks different. I could wear it on this side, or I can wear it on this side where the stripes are more pronounced, and then I did the striping on the bottom. So I'm really pleased with this one. Had a lot of fun doing it, and I became obsessed. I couldn't wait to get it finished. Okay, before I go on to the works in progress, I just wanted to give a shout out to the winner of the Joey Scarf Make Along that I was sponsoring. Ended on April 4th, and the winner was Lorna, and the most sweet thing, Lorna reached out to me. I had told her she was the winner and to expect a nice, you know, a nice surprise, a skein of yarn and some a project bag and some goodies. And before I even had a chance to send out the package, Lorna contacted me on Ravelry and told me that she had, first of all, she told me that she had been watching the podcast from the very beginning, from the very first episode, and I was really happy to hear that. And she told me that she was out shopping and she saw some fabric that made her think of me, and she wanted to send me a little something. So this is what Lorna sent me. She made a project bag out of this fabric, and it's beautiful. And Lorna's story was she lost her sister in, I guess, last May, and near where she lives, there in the springtime are fields of these beautiful flowers that make her think of her sister. And when she saw this fabric, she thought of me, and I just think that's so nice. It really touched me, and I want to say thank you very much, Lorna, and I really appreciate it. And she also gave me a little pouch, which I thought I had to a matching little pouch to go with this. And I really am happy that you did that. So thank you, Lorna. It was very, very nice of you. Okay, so what I'm working on. Since I was obsessed with the Cozy Colourblock shawl, that's strictly all that I have been working on. But I did manage to sneak in some crochet, and I've been working on my granny square blanket. So this is what I've gotten done so far. They're all different colors. This one. So what I'm going to do, these are 6-inch squares. And I figured I'm going to need 8 inches across. The width is going to be 48 inches, and then 11 squares down will be 66. So the blanket will be 48 inches wide by 66 inches long. So I need 88 squares, I guess. Yeah. So I'm doing this color in the middle and then repeating it here, and then the white center, and then the navy around. And so they're all different. There's 8 different colors. And I've already done, well, already I have 17 squares done. That many, plus this. So I'm pretty much on the way. I've also been tying in the ends as I go so that I don't have to do that at the very end. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these, this would be 2 rows. This pile of 16 would be 2 rows. So I'm going to start sewing them together so I don't have to do all the sewing all at once. So that's what I've been doing in between my Cozy Colourblock shawl. Oh, I just wanted to mention too that this is a typical granny square pattern. It's the, you know, vintage granny square pattern. And the yarn I'm using is just yarn that I've had left over, acrylic yarn from all different, Red Heart, from Hobby Lobby, yeah, whatever I have left over, that's what I'm using. I happen to have enough, I hope, to make it the way I want it, which is all 8 different colors with the navy blue border. Okay, so I do have another work in progress. Once I finished the Cozy Colourblock shawl, I had so much fun doing it, I decided I needed to make another one. And not the same pattern. When I was in, I think, Rhinebeck, Miss Babs was there, and I wanted to get some yarn. I was going to make a sweater. So she sells this yarn in a big skein of yarn. She calls it her Yowza yarn, and it is in an 8-ounce skein, so it's big. So I got this much out of one 8-ounce skein. I wound it into 2 separate skein balls, cakes. So my original thought was to make a sweater, and I bought 3 of those big 8-ounce skeins of this Yowza yarn. I don't know if you remember, I was making a sweater for one of the knit-alongs that Wendy and Victoria and I were sponsoring. And I started the sweater. It was the grandpa sweater, and it is sitting in timeout still. I still have not picked it up. I need to do the sleeves, and I'm just not feeling it. So I knew that I wasn't going to cast on another sweater. But I thought, I have all this yarn now. What am I going to do with this? So I decided to see if, you know, I looked up on Ravelry what other people were making with this Yowza yarn. And I found this pattern by Susan B. Anderson, and it's called, she has 3 of them using the Yowza yarn, and the one, they're all shawls, so she calls it the Yowza Weigh It shawl, and she's got 1, 2, and 3, and I've decided to make the number 3, and this is a pay for pattern, and this is kind of what it looks like. And it uses up every bit of the 8 ounces of the yarn. But I still have 2 big skeins, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I don't know if I just don't know what to do with the other 2 skeins. I might be, I I don't know, maybe gifting it to someone, or I'm not sure. But so I started the Yowza shawl by Susan B. Anderson, and it's gonna go pretty quick, I think. And I love working with this yarn. I wasn't too keen on starting a she calls this light worsted weight, and that's Miss Babs Yowza, and this color is called Mayhem, and it is 100% superwash merino. It's 560 yards, 8 ounces, and this is the way it's knitting up. Come on. It's pretty, isn't it? Susan, this is how she describes the shawl, and she has this in the Ravelry description. She says, I cast on 9 stitches to start and never counted the stitches again. So it's just a very easy design and pattern. Once you get the hang of it, it just goes really fast. So yeah, so that's what I'm working on. Like I said, we're going to have some cool weather later on in the week, but I don't think I'm going to mind working on this because it feels very lightweight, even though it's worsted weight. It feels really airy and nice. Yeah, so that's it for my works in progress. Okay, so I'm going to show you the acquisitions, the stuff I bought when I went to the New Jersey Wool Walk a couple of weeks ago. I bought a lot of stuff, and it's probably why I'm hesitant to go to the Maryland Sheep and Wool, because I did buy a lot of yarn. So one of the reasons I wanted to do the Wool Walk was because I wanted to go to a yarn store called Frame and Fiber, and I don't know, you might know Paige. She's Paige the Framer on Instagram, but she has a shop in Point Pleasant, New Jersey, and it's called Frame and Fiber. So she does picture framing in one part of the store. That's really her profession. She does some beautiful framing, and then on the other half of the store she has yarn. She sells yarn, and she has knit nights and stuff like that. And I wanted to check out her store, and she was one of the local yarn stores on the Wool Walk. So I went and I met Paige, and I really was happy to meet her. She's really a nice, very fun, nice person to meet. She sells yarn by Legacy Fiber Arts. She sells their yarn in her shop. And when I was watching, Paige also has a podcast. When I was watching one of her episodes, she was making the shawl, A Girl's Best Friend shawl, and she had it in the shop, her completed shawl. It's beautiful. And I had been wanting to make the shawl too, and decided to buy some yarn to do that. I guess Paige put together the kit. Sorry. So she put 2 Legacy Fiber Arts skeins, and then this one is a different. I didn't even realize that. Okay. So these 2 are Legacy Fiber Arts. Okay, this one is their Cozy Toes, which is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. Isn't that pretty? Really pretty. And this color is Becoming Mother. Can't read it, it's in pencil, but it's pretty, really soft. Okay, this is another Cozy Toes from Legacy Fiber Arts. And same blend, 80-10-10, cashmere, merino. And this is called Parchment, I think. And then this is, I don't know who this is, Wandering Wool. Never heard of them. But this is 75% superwash BFL and 25% nylon. And the colorway is Shetlands. Oh, I love the color though. Let's see what it says. This is by Joelle Burbank, Gaithersburg, Maryland. So these are the three colors that Paige put this kit together. It's going to look nice. And here's the kind of the idea of the shawl. So I can't wait to get started on this, but I think it's going to be a while before I attempt that one. But Paige gave out these really cool, that's her logo, frame and fiber canvas bags. They're really nice. So I was happy that I stopped in to see her on the Wool Walk. So that was my first acquisition. Okay, my next stop on the Wool Walk was Chelsea Yarns in Red Bank, New Jersey. Christina has a beautiful, beautiful shop. She's got a lot of hand-dyed yarns. She dyes her own yarn, and it's beautiful. So she also carries Marianated Yarn. And Marion, I think is the name of the dyer, was there with her trunk show that day. And she had some kits too. And they were just, she had samples of what she had knitted for the kits that she put together. I saw this, and this is the Pero shawl, P-E-R-O shawl, and yeah, it's so colorful and it's just so beautiful. I had to make it. And as I said, Marion had a sample there, and it was just, I just love the bright colors. So I bought a kit for that Marion put together. Look at these. Oh my goodness. Is that going to be cool or what? Yeah. Now, I was a little hesitant. This is whoops. The main skein, main color is this. This is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. So that's the blue. And then these are also superwash. Let's see, they're 80% merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. She does some really nice dyeing, Marion. Beautiful. Yeah. So as I was saying, I was a little hesitant about this shawl because, I don't know if you can see it, but the way the shapes of the stripes, I asked Marion about it. And by the way, this Pero shawl is by Katy H. Carroll. And I'm sure you can find it on Ravelry. But the way the stripes are, I asked Marion about it, and she said they're short rows. Now, I made a grimace when she said that because I've never done short rows. I've done short rows in like when you make a sock and you do the gusset and the heel turn and all of that stuff. But this is a wrap and turn short row, which for some reason I'm afraid of. I don't know. I'm just hesitant. But Marion said, "Go for it. It's easy. You'll do fine." So I'm gonna go for it. Again, I don't know where this one fits in the priorities. You know, which one or when I'll be making that, but it's further down the line. And then Christina, this is her yarn, and this is Chelsea, her Chelsea Luxe, and she dyed specifically for the wall walk this color, so I had to have it. And this is called Walk Baby Walk, the color. Very cool. And this is 100% superwash merino, and it's cool. So I had to have that. Then ToadHollow Yarns, which are Mary Beth and Helen from the Crafty Toads podcast, we're also doing a trunk show. And you know, I can never pass up ToadHollow yarn, so I had to buy some skeins from them. They have a new base, and it's their Silky Toad base. Isn't that pretty? Very, very soft. And this one is called Spring. And from their let's see, yeah, it's just ToadHollow Yarns. And then, oh, I bought two Silky. Okay, this one's also the Silky Toad base, and this one is Vagabond. The boho life. Very pretty. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these, but it's beautiful. And they are giving their yarn in this bag, which is really cute. Very cute. So that was my experience at my second stop on the wool walk. Okay, the third stop, we went on Saturday. So the wool walk was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Thursday I went to two yarn stores, Frame and Fiber, and then Chelsea Yarns. And then on Saturday, I went to what I consider my local yarn shop, and that is Woolbearers in Mount Holly, New Jersey. And Myra is the owner, and she was the first yarn store in my area that I really discovered as, you know, other than the big box stores. So Myra also dyes yarn, and she does a beautiful job also. So I had to buy some yarn from her. Okay, so this is Myra's yarn. It's her hand-dyed yarn. And this is the Woolbearers High Twist, and it's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And I guess she's calling this Viridin. That's one skein. And then there's another skein, same kind of thing, high twist merino, 75-25. This one's called White Mulberry. And then this is called Lady Slipper, same blend. So I wanted to go with more solid type colors to make socks, because I find that the crazy colors that I've been using for socks, I'll go to put on a pair of socks and I'll be wearing certain colors, and I'm looking for something more subtle to wear on my feet. So I thought the white would be nice, especially for the summer, and the blue. But I hate to use these for socks, so I don't know. I might not. We'll see. And the other thing with making socks, there's so much yarn here, and then I wind up making a pair of socks and have so much yarn left over, but not enough really to do anything with. So I don't know. We'll see what I do. Okay, so there was a shawl, a sample shawl in Miras shop too, that I thought I would want to make, and that was it's called the Local Yarn Shawl, and she has two different sizes that you can make. This is by Casapinka. So you can make a small, which only uses 1 skein of fingering weight, or a large with 2 skeins of fingering weight. And it's the Local Yarn Shawl was conceived to honor Local Yarn Store Day, which was that Saturday. And this was a free pattern. And since I bought the yarn, Local Yarn from Myra, I got the free pattern for that. And then I love Myra's gradients also, so I picked these up. Not sure what I'm going to do with this yarn, but it'll find a home, I'm sure. So that was my third stop. Okay, so the fourth and final place that we went to, we happened to be up in North Jersey on Sunday. The Wool Walk took place on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sunday we were up in North Jersey for an event, and I decided to stop into one of the stores on the Wool Walk up that way. And this name of this store that we went to was called KnitKnit Tapestry, and they are in Waldwick, New Jersey. They were having a trunk show, and the dyer was there, and her name is, the name of her shop is Kim Dyes Yarn, and I thought these were really pretty colors. Maybe make like a 2-color shawl or something. So this is colorway Affection, and it's the sourdough sock 80-20 blend of superwash merino. Pretty color. And then there was this color, and this is The Heart Remains a Child color. And this is Kim Dyes Yarn. And Kim was very nice. So that's it for my acquisitions, which I normally don't do, and I hope you enjoyed seeing all the stuff that I got, which is probably why I'm probably not going to go to the Maryland Sheep and Wool, because I did some damage on the New Jersey Wool Walk. So if we do go, it'll be just to see the sheep. So I think that's it for today. can't think of anything else. I'm glad that you stopped by. I want to just say thank you, and I guess we'll see you next time. Bye now.
Cord, wrap and turn, pick up and knit. Joe plays scarf.